Welcome to CIS195 Week 9. This week we're going to be talking about some media types and the ability to embed content into your web pages. First one we're going to work on here is audio. Now I'm working off of the starting files here. So I have the index.html file open, and we have a media folder with two media types in here, an audio file and a video file. So we'll start off with audio. So the tag for this is audio. We have to give it a source, just like we have to do sources for lots of other things. I'll go to the folder, a slash, and then choose the audio file. And then close this up. So now if I were to refresh our web page now, you won't see anything. Now this is because at this point we're not showing any controls for the audio. So we actually have to go back and add an attribute in here to our tag called controls. Okay, now if I refresh the page, you'll be able to see the audio file. And if I press the play button, we should get it to play. Okay, so we can play this. You can also do what's called an autoplay. So if I were to add autoplay onto this, let's go ahead and refresh the page and see what happens. You'll notice nothing happened, and this is pretty common in today's web pages. They won't allow it to autoplay unless it's set to mute initially. So we'll have to add a muted option in here. Let me refresh the page. And this should autoplay it, but it's not. So this particular web page is not even going to allow us to autoplay this at all. One other option we can add into here is loop. So this would allow it, once it's finished playing, for it to continue to loop. So let me go ahead and refresh that. Turn this off mute. I'll go ahead and I'll set it somewhere down the line here, near the end. Let's get it closer. There we go. And it should continue once it gets to the end. There we go. All right. So that's about it for audio. Audio is fairly easy to embed into your web pages. All right, let's move on to the video option. So this is a video tag. Once again, a source. Let's find our video file. Same thing. If I'm going to need to put a controls on here in order for this to work. I can use the same thing, autoplay, loop, and muted, the same options. Most web pages nowadays will not let a video to autoplay unless it's muted to start with, but you'll notice that there's a lot of pages that get away with that through different purposes. So let me go ahead and just close this up. Let's go ahead and open this up. So now we have our video file showing. I can play that. Okay. Now, something with a video file, because it has a size on the page, we can actually change the width and height of this. So let's go ahead and adjust the width. Make this 200 pixels, and let's make the height equal to 100 pixels. Make it fairly small on the page. So it's pretty small, still has the controls. I can play it. Okay. You'll notice that it moved up behind the other control because there's enough room for it. So I would have to make some adjustments here. I would have to add a break in after this in order to get it to move down appropriately. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here for our video file. Just add some room. Alright, now we're going to be doing some embedding of other content into our web pages. So we're actually going to embed a web page inside of our web page. So this is kind of an interesting option. So we're going to use a tag called iframe. This, as always, has a source. So I'll make the source equals here. In this case, I'm just going to send it to Wikipedia. So I'm going to do the entire https:// wikipedia.org. close that up, and then let that appear. You'll notice, as did with our video, it puts it in at a particular size. We can choose that size larger, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to give this a width equal to, we're going to make this 560, and our height equals 315. Refresh our page. Now this is a fully functioning web page inside of our page. I could just search for something on Google. Astley. There we go. And we can get a look at the person whose video and audio that I've showcased here. Alright. Let's move on to a couple more fun things and might be actually useful for your web pages. That might be embedding a YouTube video. Embedding a YouTube video is a fairly easy process. You do have to go through some pre-work ahead of time. In this case, you're going to have to spend some time going to YouTube and actually finding a video that you want to embed. And unfortunately, not all videos will embed. So let's go ahead and we'll find one that will work. So here's a video that I know will work. This is from Mark Roper. Let's go ahead and pause this out here. In order to get a video from YouTube to embed, you can actually get the necessary code directly from them. So I'm at the video itself. If you go to the share link, there's an option under share called embed. Click on that, and this will give you the actual code that you need in order to put into your page. So I'm going to copy all of that. And did not want to copy properly. Let's try it again here. Copy that. I'll come over here, put that into our page. You notice this is really long here, so I'm going to break this down into some smaller chunks here. Okay, that's close enough. So when YouTube provides you the code in order to embed your video, you got to have the source, which is a fairly complex long link. They give a title for this. This is something we will not see. We actually have a frame border that's telling it don't put a frame around this, and then it allows all sorts of other options within the iframe. I am not going to be discussing these. So let's just go ahead and go back to our page. I'll refresh it. So now we should have a playable YouTube video within our web page. Okay. The last one here is embedding a Google map. Not video. Why'd I leave that there? Just a Google map into our page. Same thing. We're going to go and find a location in Google Maps that we can use. Let me go ahead. I'm going to pull a page over from another page I'm working on here and just drop it into ours. So I'm going to set it up so that we have a Google map that starts at the University of Oregon. So I'll go ahead and I'll click on the University of Oregon here. And what we want to do is similar to the other web page. We're going to want to share this. So we make sure we have the site selected, go to share, click on embed a map, and then there is our iframe. We'll copy that, place that into our web page here. And once again, this is an extremely long link here. This is not something I'd want to type in, but you'll notice we do have the widths and heights. We have some styles in terms of a border, etc. We go ahead and close this, go back to our page, refresh, and now I should have a controllable Google map within my web page. Alright, that's all there is for this week.